Johanna. Johanna.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a new video to share, and today's video is a journal release. So I'm going to be showing some journals I've been working on that will be going into my Etsy shop. So the journals that I'm sharing today are my Christmas collection for this year, and I got a head start on these books to make sure that I would have a Christmas collection this year because I am fast running out of time with everything else that I have scheduled to get done before the end of the year. So I wanted to get these done with plenty of time to ship them out, and I did, and they are ready to go. So I just want to take you through the books and get a record of them here on my channel. So yeah, so in this collection there are 6 books that will be going into my Etsy shop, and the style that I did is kind of like a hybrid between a traveler's notebook type and a standalone journal, and I'll explain that more in a second. But basically, and I'll use my personal journal that I've made to show you. So this is the style journal that I've made. It is an A5 sized notebook or journal, and you can put it into a traveler's notebook, and I'll show you how in a minute. But it does have 2 signatures, and it does have a little spine and everything, so it works really well as a standalone journal as well. And my idea behind this collection was to create a journal that kind of had a cascading effect with the cover and the pages, so it gets larger as it comes out, and it kind of waterfalls out of the book. And so the front cover is really narrow, and it has a window here with acetate to recreate the sort of window idea that I did last year, but I wanted to make it a little bit different and try something new. So this is what I did. So this is what I came up with. And my book that I've got here was kind of like my prototype, so any mistakes that I made when creating these books went in, like my testers went into this book. So my cover's a little bit more narrow than the others in the collection because I made a mistake, but this is the idea behind it. So if you wanted to, you could put a picture behind here peeking through. You could put a photo, so if you have like family Christmas photos, which I'm lucky enough to already have because my sister took some of my little family. So once you get your family photos for the year, you could put one here on the first page, have it peeking through the window, or you could put an image of any kind, or you could just leave it with a pattern peeking through. It's totally up to you, but I wanted you to be able to customize that. So first of all, if you would like to put this into a traveler's notebook cover, it is A5 size, so you will need an A5 sized notebook. On here that my friend made me, that I'm going to use to show you how I would put this into a cover. To make this be able to go into the elastics, I did attach a little bit of grunge board at the top and bottom of the spine using an eyelet, because I didn't want the elastics to sort of scrunch up the card of the cover if it had elastics over it. So this is really nice and sturdy, and all you'll do is you'll use 2 elastics in your traveler's notebook, find the middle of each signature, and I'd put the first signature through the first elastic, and then find the middle of the second signature and put the next elastic through the center of that. So then you have it inside a traveler's notebook cover. You can use it in a traveler's notebook, or you can just use it on its own. You don't need to have a traveler's notebook cover, but if you would like to, you can definitely do that. So that was the idea behind that, to be able to use it both ways. So the other thing I wanted to show you about these books is that they have the normal pages in the front, but then when you go to the back, you have a big full-sized pocket, but then when you lift up this panel, you have a whole extra notebook. So in the back of each of the books there is a little notebook made up of vintage lined and ledger papers, and I thought that this would be kind of cool because then you can have a hidden secret little compartment in your journal where you can write like your your gift lists or like anything that you want to keep separate, any little messy notes that you might not want to have on display. So if you wanted to, you could just jot down what you did each day for your December daily, and then you can transfer your notes into these pages in a more decorative way. So you can use that in a number of different ways. So it's kind of like two notebooks in one, because you've got the front and then you've got the back. That's the basics of the design. Now I'll go ahead and show you the books that are in the collection for release. So they all are made the same way, they just have different patterns and different papers, and like I said, there is 6 of them that are going into my shop. So they're all slightly different, they'll have different patterns going through the windows, so it's hard to show you all at once, but this is the collection. So all of the covers have been stitched with red thread. They all have the same embossing, and then they have 2 signatures stitched with green thread. Eyelets, which are all in different colours. And the card itself is painted white. And then when you open them up, the front cover has been lined with this vintage wallpaper. And then the back cover, where it opens out, has been covered in this tartan or plaid fabric. So, and then of course you've got your notebook at the back, but all of the books that are going into my Etsy shop have the same pattern and this same pattern on the inside, and then they differ by the pages. So they all have the same page types and they all have the same number of pages, and they've been put into the book in the same order. They also all have the same sort of tabs, so they differ a little bit. So the only main difference is the paper selections or the patterns, and each page gets a little bit wider as you go. So that kind of makes sense to me in a way as well, because if you're using this for a December daily, usually as December goes on your days get more busy and you have more things to say. I know that's not always the case, but it kind of works in my mind. And then in the pockets I've just put some little bits and pieces, and I've stitched things on as tabs so they overhang off the page. And I've also used a bunch of my Christmas linens, which are available for download from my Etsy shop. So I printed a bunch of them out onto single-sided scrapbook paper so that the back would have a Christmas pattern on it, and I've just stitched them onto the pages as pockets or as little fold-outs. All of the books also have this vellum pocket. So there's 3 sections, and I've just tucked little goodies in there that you can take out and move around. But yeah, just like little Tim Holtz flashcards, and there's some vintage pieces and some scrapbook paper pieces. And then they all have this same tab as well with the little countdown numbers from the Tim Holtz range. So next page I've stitched on another one of my linens. Again, it's printed on scrapbook paper, so it's double-sided, and then I've just tucked in this little shopping list note paper there. The middle of the signature has an envelope which I haven't sealed up yet because I totally forgot, but I will seal those up. And just to show you, every time I forget to seal up my envelopes, I show you guys. In the middle of the signature, if you want your stitching to be hidden in an envelope, or you just want to put an envelope into your signature, put it in the middle of the signature as an open page, and then once you've stitched it, you can glue this shut, and then you won't see the stitches. So that's how you do that. I also cut up some Project Life pocket pages, and I just stitched a little piece of them on 2 little 3x4 pockets here, which I just stuck some little bits and pieces into. And then there is a pocket here which you can just use as a large peekaboo pocket, or if you wanted to, you could put like a photo, or like you could print them smaller than I have and put a picture behind each little circle. Actually, that would be cute if I put like a picture of each of my little babies in here. Obviously I'd have to cut them down to the right size, but you can use it as like a little photo spot, or you can use it as just like a peekaboo pocket. It's totally up to you. And more of my linens here. Envelope, tags, some ledger paper. And they all have these sort of, I wanted to create like cabinet card style photo frames. So again, I'll get my picture. You can put your photos into those frames really easily, and I think actually most of them are top loading, so this one must have been an accidental side loading, but most of them are top loading like this, but it's the same, it works the exact same way. So a really easy way to slip your photos in. And then I just left it black on the back. You can use like white pen, or you can collage something or put a photo on here. There's some vintage Christmas book pages in each of the books. More beautiful scrapbook paper. And then there's a gatefold in each of the books as well. They also all have a full-sized acetate pocket. So again, you could use a photo that's even larger than I have here and just slip it right in there, or you could create like a panel of scrapbook paper and like decorate it and then slip it into the pocket, or put anything in there because it's quite a nice size. More book pages, the other side of that cabinet card, and then the back page is a fold out, and they're all made the same way, like I said. So all of these types of pages are in every single book in the same order. So, and then in the back, of course, you've got your full-size pocket, and then you've got your ledger notebook. So that is the first book. Now I'm just going to quickly flick through the others to give you a glimpse at the papers. So like I said, they're made the exact same way, so I want to try and keep this fairly short. I'm just going to show you papers that are in each book. So same sorts of things, just different patterns, different colours. Linens from my Etsy shop. Cabinet cards, ledger paper. There's a full-size acetate here on this side. So there is this one, and again, of course, you've got your notebook in the back. Next is this one, which is again the same, and just gives you a little look at the pages again. So I wanted you to be able to make this your own. So I was tempted to add more interactive bits in these because I felt like I had spare time to finish these up as well. So I thought about adding more and more things to some of the plain pages, but I thought it's sometimes, at least for me, I really do think that's more practical to have plain pages, especially if you're going to be using this. I know that in my December dailies, a lot of my pages got really covered up. So I wanted you to be able to have the option to add some of your own things in here. And so on some of the white pages, you might want to like glue down Christmas wrapping paper, or like Christmas cards, or bits and pieces of ephemera from your Christmas seasons. And again, same thing. So lots of stitching, lots of little pockets, and some little fun bits and pieces for you to play with. So at the time of filming this video, I don't know exactly what time and day the books are going to go into my Etsy shop, but when I publish this video, it will say in the description box below the exact date and time that there'll be a release. So if you'd like to catch the release, make sure you check the description box below. Next we have this one. Pocket here, vellum pocket, And I've just used, as always, a variety of papers. I've used a lot of papers that I still had from last year, maybe even the year before that. I've used a lot of papers that I just had that I needed to use up. And I always love to mix and match patterns and collections to give it a eclectic, unique look rather than using just one collection. Also, because if you use them that way, your paper packs last a longer time and you can make them go a lot further by sort of sprinkling a little bit of them into each project. So there's that one, and then this is the last one. So same thing as the others. This is a pocket here. This book has some pretty colours. It's kind of got a lighter colour scheme. So there is that one. And to make sure that these books don't get damaged on their way out, I decided to make up some pockets for the books to sit in to keep them safe, because the tabs are hanging out of the book. They will get squashed up if you're not careful. So I thought that if I made some pockets out of card like this, then I could keep them a little bit protected when they go in the mail. So it's 2 pieces of A4 card stitched together, and on the front you have a pocket here and a pocket here, and then on the back you just have a full-size pocket here. And then when I send them out, I'll just put the back cover in to the main pocket like this, and then the whole book will sit on top like that, and that's just going to sort of protect all of your little tabs from getting smushed up. And I probably will go ahead and add some little goodies into each of the pockets just to make it a little bit more fun when you receive this. I'll put like some vintage wrapping paper and stuff in here. And then if you wanted to, throughout December, you could use this little pocket to collect your bits and pieces that you accumulate throughout the month. So there's one of those for each of the books that are going into the collection. So they're all just a little bit different to each other. But yeah, I just wanted to share that idea as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and seeing my Christmas collection. I'm so excited to be finally sharing with you guys, and I'm really proud of myself for actually getting a Christmas collection done this year, because I didn't know if I was going to. But yeah, as I said, if you would like to catch the restock and when they go into my shop, make sure you check out the description box for all of the information on when they will go live. So thank you for stopping by my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!